The Glasshouse is rated M for a mature audience. It contains sexual references, adult themes and material that may offend some viewers.
Ahead in the Glasshouse, an honest politician.
Are you friends with John Howard?
Am I friends with John Howard? Not really, no.
House, the program that asks the question, if Mark Latham gives parents of preschoolers 1 day of free childcare a week, isn't there a danger they'll use that time to make more preschoolers? More news than the mighty power this week, but the big story is still this bloody election. At the coalition launch, John Howard spoke for an hour and made $6 billion worth of promises. $100 million a minute. Prompting accusations the government is spending like a drunken sailor. They want us to love them long time. Mark Latham launched the ALP's campaign to 500 of the party faithful in Brisbane on Wednesday. Paul Keating was there, Gough Whitlam was there, but halfway through, Gough shouted, "Bingo!" Can I get a rug for my knees? The centrepiece of the launch was Medicare Gold, free health care for every Australian 75 and over. This election, the elderly vote is swinging, so be careful. Next time you're at a swingers party, try not to pick up the keys to the motorised wheelchair. Not surprisingly, John Howard labelled the policy financially irresponsible and countered with an offer to pensioners of a house on the Gold Coast and free transplant organs from asylum seekers. There was another moment to fill you with confidence this week when Latham was forced to defend the Labor candidate for the Sunshine Coast, Dr Ivan Malloy. Unfortunately, this is what Mark called him.
Dr Ivan Mallat, the Labor candidate for Fairfax.
The Labor candidate, Ivan Mallat. It's a really unsafe seat. Murdering backpackers. Now, that's a hardline immigration policy. But Mallat is actually more of a Green. He's opposed to logging old forests. Who knows who they'll find? Green Grant!
News from the gut. Gastric will flux. Nutrition researchers at Flinders University are getting people to eat things they don't like in a bid to discover why we think some foods are disgusting. Yes, it's an Australian study designed to make people swallow any old crap. Must be an election year. The idea is to get fussy children to broaden their diets with nutritious things they think are yucky, like tofu and seaweed. But so far, they've found that the most reviled things to eat are tomatoes, mushrooms, onions and Rosie O'Donnell. You don't have to make it dirty. Tomatoes, onions and mushrooms. I think these boffins are being a bit limited in what they class as food. What about rancid eyeball jelly? Or cream of lizard scrotum soup? Or soy milk? The thing people find most disgusting is a slimy texture. But slimy food can be good for you. You're less likely to choke on it. It slides right off your plate when you're finished. And there's no wastage because if there's any left over, chicks can wrestle in it.
Yes!
Hi, baby.
I'm not happy.
Oh, I'm not happy.
I'm not happy, no. A recent survey said that 70% of Australian drivers don't feel safe sharing the roads with four-wheel drives. I mean, come on. What about when you're bloody stuck in a mudslide? Yeah, you're stuck in your car and there's crocodiles coming for your car. You'll feel safe with a four-wheel drive around then, won't you? Coming to bloody grab you and take you out of the bloody... where you are. You'll feel safe then. People aren't happy with four-wheel drive people. They reckon they should get a special licence. I think maybe they should. They should get a licence. Within the licence test, they must prove that they're an absolute wanker and then they get to have their four-wheel drive. I swear to God, though, what I swear, 1 in 4 people who own four-wheel drives never... only 1 in 4 intend to ever take them off main roads. And people get upset about that. Well, I tell you what, I bought my car with 2 airbags. I never intend to use them either. But I'm glad they're bloody there. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quit while I'm behind.
All right, let's get to it. Joining me, Corinne and Dave, the Throw Some Stones in the Glass House tonight, from play school to gay school and all points in between, Rhys, Muldoon. And star of stage, screen and radio booth, Meshel, Laurie. All right, movers and shakers. First up, a new survey in the UK has found that British men are abandoning their stiff upper lips and having a good cry. According to the survey, 30% of all British males have cried in the last month. The other 70% whinged about not crying. There are lots of reasons why men cry. The death of a loved one, a simple gesture of honesty from a child, any kind of sudden groin injury. Dave, you wear your heart on your sleeve. What makes you cry?
One thing, really.
What's that?
Onions. I was at a funeral recently and I was starting to cry and I really held myself back. I didn't want to cry at a funeral because it was...
That's a place to cry.
I know, but even there I felt like it was not appropriate to cry.
Sometimes it's strange things that trigger you. My husband Adrian cried when our cat Mitzi was at the vet.
Well, that's fair enough.
No, but it wasn't. She just needed plaque scraped from her teeth. Honestly,
He's just going, I should have bought a floss.
Yeah.
I should have
It
floss.
just reminded him that Mitzi was mortal and that one day would be her time.
I understand Dave's point of view about the crying at the funeral.
Really?
I mean,
Really?
well, no, in that, I understand that I think men shouldn't cry in public.
Why? What are you talking about?
There's an out clause for all men. An invention has been made that allows you to cry, and it's called football.
Yeah.
OK? All right. Seriously? Like, for example, if you went to Adelaide to watch the Saints in the preliminary final, and let's just say they lost by a goal...
Is that what you
So you're
cry?
saying if you went to your dad's funeral, you'd have to have a replay of the Adelaide Saints match? Just a fake sense. Oh, Rhys is really upset about this. Fraser, I mean, Dad.
When was the last time you cried?
Well, firstly, I wouldn't tell you. But, no, but, like, the thing is like, I don't like men crying. And the thing is that women don't like it either. They will try in a relationship and say, I want you to cry, I want you to cry. And then you cry and they go, weak.
There's a certain sense of achievement. There's a certain sense of achievement when you've made him cry, Rhys.
I'm sure there is.
Would you find it attractive, Corinne, if a guy
No, I
cried?
don't find it attractive. I find it really distressing because men hold everything in so much. If they cry, then obviously something's really, really, really upset them, and then I find that very upsetting, and then I cry.
Would you have sex with somebody who cried, though?
Not during it.
I didn't mean during. I don't know what you're doing to make him cry during. But don't cross your legs like that! No, I mean, like if someone was really emotional,
Got to
say...
turn you on, basically.
I wouldn't sleep with someone because they cry.
What if you had a really good friend and he'd just been to his dad's funeral, he was home and he was upset and he was crying and he was really attracted to you and you could make him feel better by having sex with him? What about then, Corinne, if that guy needed you and you could make him feel better about his dad's death by giving him one?
Please don't. Please don't tell me you've got a funeral coming up.
No, but I could arrange something. No, but why not? What if he needed the comfort? When you do it then?
I'd give him a bit of a hug and a bit of a pat on the back. I'm not going to sleep with... I'm I'm not going to sleep with someone because I've gone, my dad just died. How about Rhys?
Wait, can we just define what the crying is? Because I want it, like, there's tearing up, right? Where you tear up and you just go, like, you know, you just get rid of it.
Moist eyes.
Moist eyes, moist eyes. I'm talking about...
Shoulder shaking,
No way! Like, it's just... Look, once in a blue moon, seriously. But if you've got... Honestly, would you go out with a bloke who was just sobbing all the time?
But Rhys, you're an actor. Aren't you supposed to be in touch with your feelings,
That's
man?
right, but you sell it for cash.
All right, so you're some sort of tear hooker.
That's right.
Rhys,
Yes.
you're a very angry and a very loud man.
I'm sorry, was I yelling?
If you had a bit of a sook occasionally, maybe you get a bit of that...
I'm not
tension
against
out.
sooking. I'm saying just do it privately.
Or maybe you
internally.
just need to masturbate or something, but you need to...
Certainly, if you're going to masturbate, you should do that privately.
It's a similar thing, I think.
What? Did someone...
What? Why? Is it a similar thing?
Well, because
oh, gee, my dad just died. How is it a similar thing?
We'll both need tissues, by the way.
Our next movers and shakers are the good people from Tourism Australia, who spent $360 million of taxpayers' money on that TV ad campaign with Richie Benaud and Les Murray, and are now spending more money on them because they bombed with test audiences in America. The world wanted the Croc Hunter and Croc Dundee, but in true ad agency style, they served up a crock of something else. The ads were designed to promote a more sophisticated image of Australia. But Americans don't want sophistication. They want shrimp being thrown on stuff. They want Steve Irwin wrestling a giant shrimp on an enormous Barbie. The new campaign is going to introduce the Yanks to a new range of famous Australians in a more familiar way. Ernie Dingo's got my baby. Rhys, you've got your finger on the pulse. How would you attract America?
I would take that sort of an approach that's been taken by Jessica Simpson, which is you underplay it. Oh. You undersell it. And you go like, look at this nation, they're as thick as a plank, let's take advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Come over here and we steal their wallet.
That's right, you know.
I agree. I don't think we need to...
I think, you know, like...
make ourselves look smart.
No way. Each time an Australian they should say electricery instead of electricity. And when toilets are mentioned, look kind of puzzled.
I know we don't want to look like a third world country.
No, but then they come and they're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Well, when you're on a holiday, you don't want to think, do you? No, you don't want to think on a holiday. You want a bit of sun, some beer maybe, and to get a root. So I think we've got to promote our women as being...
Right. So that's like what the slogan should be. Australia, the beer's cold and the locals are easy.
Do it in a subtle way, but yeah, that's the message we want to get across.
It's a wide open land and wide open legs.
No, can I just stand
Come
up?
see down under.
Can I stand up for Australian ladies here
Yes.
and say, let's not market the Australian ladies all legs akimbo. Let's say, come over here because the backpackers are easy. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Then they can all just interbreed themselves and go home and take their nasty diseases with them.
Have you guys ever stayed in a backpacker?
Never.
I've always dreamed of staying it, even like where I live in Melbourne, just going for backpackers for a night.
Why?
Just because, I mean...
You want sex?
Yeah.
You want sex and you want to have it in a room with 6 other people on bunks?
And you want to wear a money belt to bed. Is that what you want?
No, I'd leave my wallet at home.
I mean, we're not talking about reality here. We're talking about a stereotype to
Right,
get
yeah.
Americans to come over here so we can, like, skin them and then send them back home.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't believe that they went, let's show Les Murray. Now, you don't go, let's go down to Australia and listen to Les Murray with some poetry, you know? Like, yeah, but they want to see things, not concepts, you know what I mean? Like a bridge, a rock, an animal, not sort of, ooh, a poet. How thought-provoking, you know?
So, we had $360 million. We should have just bribed them to come.
Exactly.
Like, we could have bought, what's return airfare, like $2,000 or whatever?
Yeah.
That's 180,000 free flights.
That's what we give
Just say, get on a
refugees.
flight, you can have a free flight if you go up the arse of the giant Merino at Goulburn and buy something.
I mean, we give refugees $2,000 to go home,
Yeah.
so we might as well pay someone $2,000 to come.
We could have paid people to go over there and kidnap them and bring them back and then ransom them.
Yep.
And we could have made a heap of cash and really put a good vibe out there about about Australia.
You know what we should have done to get them here really cheap? We should have just pretended we had weapons of mass destruction.
Yep.
Because Saddam did that and suddenly there was 100,000 Americans right there.
Yes! Great point.
Our favourite mover and shaker this week is a website called Hottest on TV where you can vote every month for your favourite Australian television hunks and spunks. Rove, Jamie Jury and Andrew G all did well this month, but where's Laurie Oakes? Where's John Wood? Where's Ray Ma from Home and Away? He's hot, flaming hot. After this week's lesbian kiss on Neighbours, votes for actresses Stephanie McIntosh and Bridget Neville poured in. Although these may have been from confused Christians who thought this was the way to evict them from the show. Meshel, you like a bit of eye candy. Who's hot on TV?
I think lesbian teenagers are terrific, but I don't want to go on record to say thank you.
Can I say that normally I would find these kind of things very superficial and demeaning to women and not really getting into the crux of what these women do on television and the talent and intelligence it takes. But I came in at number 5, so I think it's great.
That's true.
I went on it. I went on and had a look.
Did you?
I'm on there. I'm on there.
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Did you vote?
No, I tried to vote for myself, but then I had to put my email address down, and it's my name. And I was like, they're gonna know.
You know what, though? I love the fact that Sandra Sully got number 1. That's a woman who's in her late 30s.
Take it easy.
And reads the news. And, you know, I just think it's great that Australians are picking a woman who's not 18 and gets around in a bikini as their sexiest chick.
I know.
I think that's
she is
great.
hot, Sandra Sully, though. But wouldn't it be better if she read the news in a bikini?
I love the people.
And maybe just oiling herself.
You're wrecking everything! You're wrecking it! You're wrecking it!
It'd make the bad news a lot easier to stomach.
I love the fact
Today, another hostage situation in Iran. Is there someone on TV that you find really hot, Corinne?
Kerry O'Brien.
I'm from the same school. I'm George Negus.
Oh,
George,
really?
well, see, George Negus has got that great porn star mo.
Nuggets Negus, yeah.
Hasn't he got that mo? Like, George Negus looks like he should be going down on the show going, "Hi, I'm George. I've come to clean the pool."
He's got a good, decent amount of chest hair, too.
I'd love for you and I to double date with Kerry and George.
Jesus, who's going to bring the heart pill?
Election night's coming up. She's beside herself.
I am beside myself.
Love.
So the older he gets...
He's adorable.
What about you, Dave?
I like, I watch Australian Idol, you know. Come on,
Which idol? Which idol?
You haven't got a dicko thing, do you?
No, not a dick. Marsha, I just can't get over her strength and her love for all humanity.
Well, you know, if you had sex with Marsha, she wouldn't give you a bad review afterwards.
I know. Yeah, it'd be hard to have sex with Dicko and Mark Holt in the room, though, wouldn't it?
Although at the point of orgasm, it'd be awesome if Mark Holden went, touchdown!
Later in the glasshouse, Mark Latham lists the 3 old nicknames he'd rather forget.
So I think that's tasteless, unnecessary and totally inappropriate.
The Foreign Minister asks John Howard to contribute to the Alexander Downer Retirement Fund.
Well, I think that is a much more appropriate way for him to spend his money if you've got millions to spend.
Simon Crean describes the sort of person eligible for the new Medicare rebate on prescription pornography.
I think you'd be pretty frustrated.
And Philip Ruddock is forced to answer rumours that he's still alive.
No, I'm not.
It's competition time this week. The new bit of the glasshouse is... Corbyn's idea is called Odd Opinions, featuring letters to the editors of some of Australia's finest newspapers. Corinne?
Thank you. I turned on Neighbours last week to see Harold taking Viagra and some kind of lesbian affair going on at the high school. Yeah, what's going on? Is this show getting its storylines from Today Tonight? Bring back Mrs. Mangle and Bouncer. Now, Now, can I say, if you brought back Mrs. Mangle and Bouncer in the same scene, you're going to get something that's not appropriate for 6:30 at night.
No, especially because Bouncer's dead.
How's Mrs. Mangle going?
I think she might be dead too, actually. That's going to be a weird episode of Neighbours, isn't it? Lou has a séance.
Well, you wouldn't need the Viagra because they're both pretty stiff, aren't they?
Meshel, Laurie, what's your letter to the editor?
Judging by your news, September 27th, Britney Spears' household should soon be a very playful one. 3 children in the family always makes for fun.
I'm so glad they sent that in.
I think this is saying that she's pregnant and therefore she and her husband...
She's also a baby.
They're already...
Yeah, it's very smart.
She got married twice in 1 year, though, didn't she?
I know. Yeah,
That's a pretty big effort. Twice in 1 year, you're having a crack at weddings, aren't you, really?
Britney Spears is the only woman who, at her own wedding, throws the bouquet and runs and catches it. I'm next!
Yeah.
You know who loves it the most is Christina Aguilera. She's all like, who's the bad girl now? She does. She just like that.
Yeah, because Christina's not really the marrying type, is she? She's more Bucks Night entertainment.
Yeah. But honest about it.
Dave, you got a letter to the editor, mate?
All right, why is it so many retired folk with much time during the week mow their lawn on Sunday? Yeah, why is that? I think it's to prove to all the working people that they're not just lazy pensioners.
Does that mean that they're all dirty atheists and they're not going to church?
I think you can do both in one day.
Oh,
they can pack it in.
Yeah, but this is obviously written from some, you know, young clubbing E-head that's sort of just got home at 6, you know, and the guy's mowing the lawn at 1 p.m, you know? And all they're hearing is you know, like...
Maybe they should mow the lawn when they get home. Just grab the lawnmower off them.
Maybe the guy's not even mowing the lawn. The guy just hears this... Would you old people keep it down?
Rhys, what's your letter to the editor?
My letter is... I listened with horror to the rendition of Waltzing Matilda and the national anthem at the grand final by Guy Sebastian.
Heavens.
What a weak rendition. Julie Anthony seems to be the only person who can render the anthem with some sort of gusto. These pop people seem to think it's some sort of anguished love song. And that's from J. Anthony of St. George.
What do you think of Guy, Dave?
Well, it's tough. I mean, it's a boring song. I mean...
Hey, whoa, hey, ho, whoa. Don't make me tear up.
What do you like about it? I mean, really?
I love it. It's all about the future and hope and taking chances and...
What?
What is? Waltzing
The
Matilda?
national anthem.
Oh, the national
Oh, you're talking about Waltzing Matilda or the national anthem?
No, I'm talking
I think they're both great.
No, no, don't get me wrong. I love Waltzing Matilda.
Yeah.
I'm a true Aussie.
Yeah.
National anthem's rubbish.
There is no good reason, though, for doing a song that goes la, 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 and changing it to la, la.
Oh, no, I agree, yeah.
That's his style. That's his style.
Yeah, but... No, but...
Oh, come on. Stop it!
I agree with Corinne. I don't know what these pop people are thinking because it's about serving the song, not about look at my range.
Julie Anthony always looks like she's in a Stedford.
Hey, ho,
She's
hey!
all the big mouth.
I know! No, but the reason Julie Anthony sang it for so long is because we didn't know the words. And we needed to follow how she sang it. Australia.
She's wearing a
You'd hear it around the stadium, people catching up. Australia.
Julie Anthony is the past. She's the past, people. Guy is our future.
That's what, you can't sing along with Guy when he's doing all that stuff. No. That's the problem. You're trying to sing along with that. They should have got Shannon Noel because we all sing like Shannon Noel.
Yeah.
You know? It's time to award the Coveted Glasshouse Trophy, which this week is called... Australia Memorial Deadly Flange of Drop Bears. A lot of great stories came out of the Paralympics over the last couple of weeks, but one of our favourite comes courtesy of an Aussie swimmer, 16-year-old Sam Bramham. He was born without his lower leg and likes to tell people overseas that it was bitten off by a kangaroo.
Get him on the edge.
I know. Another favourite trick is to have a normal conversation until somebody asks how he lost his leg. Then he seems confused, looks down and goes, "Ah!" Fooling foreigners is a sport our Paralympians excel at. There's even a visually impaired cyclist who claims she lost her sight watching wombats masturbate. So the trophy goes to Sam Bramham and his tall tales. It makes you proud to be Australian. A bloke like that could be Prime Minister one day. Well, that's the way it is for Friday, October the 1st. Thank you very much, Meshel. Thank you, Rhys. abc.net.au/glasshouse. It just won't go away. And let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines. The Territory News reports Downer defends preemptive strikes. Australia's new, what are you looking at, foreign policy? According to the LA Times, Marlon Brando, a good friend of Michael Jackson. Jacko used him as bouncy castle to attract children. And the Daily Tally says, Roosters Canterbury prepare for NRL Grand Final. Bulldogs oblivious to irony of facing 13 cocks at once. Good night.
Triple J's Beat the Drum competition closes this Wednesday. If you've been beating the drum, make sure you get your entry to Triple J in Sydney with an entry form by 5 p.m. this Wednesday. Winners announced with Adam and Will next Friday on Triple J.